Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to mine and Pedro's discussion of sorts on the recent Terminator film, Terminator Genai.
Terminator Bad Fan Fiction. That's the name I decided to dub it.
Yeah, okay. His real name's Terminator Genisys, and it's directed by Alan Taylor, who recently directed For the Dark World, which I didn't like,
Me neither.
and written by later Calougris and Patrick Lussier, two people whose work I've never seen. And judging from this film, I'm scared as to what their other films are like. Okay, but before we get into specifics, I'll just say this. The film wasn't as bad as I feared it was going to be. I was expecting this huge, massive ball of awfulness and a massive train wreck. And what I got was a film, but I still had plenty of issues with it.
For me, it's like, yeah, it's not a bore fest like Salvation was, definitely. But I thought the movie was a mess. Honestly, the movie did not know what the fuck it was doing. But again, in fact, I might as well issue that out because audience, basically, we're gonna say something spoiler free, like or basically spoiler free. Because honestly, to make a proper analysis of this film, we have to spoil the plot because there's so much to cover. But yeah, basically, my take is, if you're a fan of the first two movies, don't bother. It's I mean, it's not as bad as Salvation, but honestly, it will probably piss you off with the constant, you know. Let's just say this movie kind of. There's no point to this movie. Trust me, it will add nothing to the series in general. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. Spoiler-free 2 cents.
Yeah, okay, are we done with spoiler-free stuff?
Well, you should give your spoiler-free opinion.
Yeah, okay. My biggest gripes with this film are, well, mainly stuff that I didn't really think added up, mainly concerning what characters were in this film that weren't supposed to be in a certain timeline yet.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and also the cause of a certain something happening is not what it was supposed to be, and also when it was. That's another thing that I watched it in the cinema with my dad and my friend. I was like, what? Even my friend was awfully confused.
I was confused throughout for most of the movie.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there's my what you could call a spoiler-free review. And apparently, I missed a post-credit scene.
There's a post-credit scene.
Yeah, I missed it. And okay, I should. Okay, this is the spoiler part now. So if you haven't seen the film and you really, really, really want to, do that first and then come back here.
Exactly.
We'll wait.
But
Okay, we're done.
Yeah. So what
Okay.
exactly is do you know what the after credit scene is?
Yeah, it says right here. In a post-credit scene, it is revealed that oh, for God's sake, the Genesis system core was located in a hidden subterranean chamber and has survived the explosion.
So they're setting this up for a sequel.
Yes.
Brilliant. Duh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What
yeah.
do you freaking do?
All right.
All right. So, how we're going to do this, you may ask? Well, we're going to start from the beginning of the film, and then we'll discuss our issues with plot, casting, shooting stuff, etc., etc., as we go through.
Exactly.
Okay. So the film begins with them actually showing us how Kyle Reese got sent from the year 2029 back to the year 1984,
Indeed.
and how it and also so yeah, basically Kyle and John are best buddies. You know, they hang out. You know, they hang out like regular men. Talk about
Yeah.
drinking.
Allow me get ready to have that ruined for you guys. But
Yay! Enjoy that camaraderie while it lasts. But anyway, Kyle is about to be sent back to the past, but in a twist of sorts, right as Kyle Reese just before he gets zapped back in time, Matt Smith's character, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, kidnaps John Connor, and by the time Kyle realizes it, it's too late, and he gets sent back in time.
Yep.
And so the next 5 minutes or so follow how the original Terminator started. Kyle gets sent back, but the T-800 got there first. And it's just business as usual. But then more twists happen. This film loves twists, doesn't it? First of all, an older T-800 that was there much earlier than it was supposed to be shows up and dispatches of the other T-800. I'll admit, I enjoyed that fight. Arnie versus Arnie. What about you?
Was the original Arnie was CGI, like in Salvation, right?
Yes, and then there was real Arnold in the coat with the shotgun. So yeah, that was fine. And as for Kyle, for some reason I still can't understand it. The T-1000's there.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that one till 1991, but no, it's in 84, and again, don't ask me why.
I mean,
it just is.
Why would that? Okay. So because it makes no sense because
you sent the T-800 already.
Exactly, you sent the T-800, but apparently you sent the T-1000 before that. Then, if you already have a T-1000 in 1984, why would you even bother sending a T-800? That makes no sense.
I guess you could say it's a sort of backup, but they never said that in the film, so...
No, that makes no sense, because why would you back up an advanced prototype with a less advanced prototype? A machine is logical. It makes no sense for a machine to act this way.
Oh, and another thing that puzzled me about the T-1000, a bit later on, I thought the T-1000 couldn't turn into dead objects.
Wait, when did... Oh, that's right, you're right.
It turned into a door hinge.
That's
a bit of it did.
Yeah, right. I was facepalming at that, but I actually forgot since I came from the theater. Yeah, you're right. That was fucking stupid.
I mean, it's not the entire T-1000, but it's a bit of it, and I thought they couldn't do that.
Exactly. In Terminator 2, James Cameron specifically established that it can only turn into objects of equal size, and it cannot replicate complex shapes. It can only do knives and stabbing weapons, as Arnold put it.
But now I can do door hinges.
Of course.
Of course you knew that from the
T2,
didn't you?
Of course. Don't you know anything about science?
Or continuity.
Ugh.
Again, that's one thing. I was unsure whether it was like Star Trek 2009, where it is a sequel to the previous film, but it's also a reboot.
It's supposed to be a different timeline. Basically, that's what they say. A different timeline, but that doesn't explain the T-1000 inconsistency.
Okay. So, T-1000 boggling out the way. Then when Kyle is hiding from the T-1000, all of a sudden, Sarah Connor shows up in her car.
Yeah. I would like to say, I actually really like the actress playing Sarah. I thought she did a really good job, especially with the script she was given.
I'm going to have to disagree with you there, I'm afraid.
I liked her better than the guy playing Kyle Reese. At least she looked like she was trying.
Yeah, she tried. I just think she was miscast. Maybe, whatever. So yeah, she shows up, and unlike the first film where she was pretty much helpless, here she's already the trained badass we know from T2. And the one who trained her to do that was the T-800.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the old Arnie, the second T-800, came from the future, went to Sarah Connor's house when she was way younger than about 8 years old, and when her parents died, he took her as his own, pretty much. It's like a father figure, if you will. And he spent all them years training her in the art of gun shooting and shit, and tough talking.
Yeah.
right.
My main problem was that her back. Oh, okay, I'm jumping a bit to the middle of the film, but it's relevant to Sarah anyway, so might as well. The backstory going on with Sarah in this timeline is that apparently the Terminator actually decided to send a T-800 back in 1970 something. Okay, which again makes no sense. Why would you? That adds
1973.
That adds even more confusion to the whole "why is the T-1000 here" thing. But I won't harp on that. But yeah, apparently his original plan was actually to kill Sarah when she was 9. Okay, fine. But again, there's a T-1000 there again. In the 19... apparently, I mean, we don't actually see it, but apparently the reason her dad got killed was because the T-1000 was rising from the water or some shit like that. And I'm like, and the father was like, "Run, Sarah, run!" Wait, how does the father know what a T-1000 is?
I thought that was Kyle Reese much older or something. Or wait,
No, well, that's not what she says. She says,
I'm confused now too.
she said, well, I'm fresher, so allow me. She said she was in a boat with her father. And then she said, oh, suddenly the water seemed like it was rising. But then I noticed it wasn't water, it was liquid metal. So my father told me, "Run, Sarah, run." And she ran, and then the T-800 found her. Okay, again, why did Skynet send... Skynet is fucking stupid, you know? So, once again, is this common procedure in this timeline? Every time you send a T-800, then again, the T-800 was actually probably reprogrammed by the Resistance, so I guess that's different now that I think about it. Okay, yeah.
But it's never actually stated who sent the good T-800 back, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're supposed to assume it was the Resistance, but
they're all dead.
Yeah, that too. Not to mention, again, you send a T-1000 back in the past in the 1970s, but then in 1984 you send a T-800. That makes sense somehow. Anyway, keep going.
Mind-boggling. Okay, so Sarah gets Kyle, played by Jai Courtney, who, well, he's Jai Courtney.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
I've seen him in this. I've seen him A Good Day to Die Hard. He's a pretty bland actor.
He is, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, and then Kyle thinks that the T-800 is a threat. Understandable enough. He's been facing the machines all his life.
I didn't have an issue with that. That was understood. That was perfectly legit.
Yeah, that was fine. And and after that they go to, well, after another scuffle with the T-1000, they go to Sarah's underground. Was it underground base?
Underground bunkers. I'm sure.
Underground bunker and stuff. And then they somehow managed to build a time machine of their own, which can travel to the future.
Apparently, they managed to build the entire thing with 1984 technology. All they needed was a CPU from the future, a Terminator CPU. Really? And I also love that line. Oh, it's going to take down pretty much most of the electricity out in the city. How did you manage to put this together using 1984 technology?
Magic.
This movie comes across as bad fan fiction. It makes no sense.
Well, so yeah, using their magical, I don't know what they use, toasters, ZX Spectrums,
science. They use
science stuff.
Yeah.
They have a bit of an argument as to what point to go forward to. Sarah thinks they should go forward to 1997 because that's when Judgment Day and from T1 and T2 was supposed to happen. But then for some reason, Kyle says no, we got to go to 2017 because now Skynet isn't caused by military action. Nope, it's caused by an app.
Of course.
Called Genisys. Hence the title.
Yeah.
Yes, Genesis basically Genesis is an app that connects everything together. It connects home computers, ovens, I assume maybe dogs.
Basically, they're reusing the evil plan from Samuel L. Jackson in Kingsman.
Yes, but it's like that. Only
Stupider.
yeah, yeah. One app can cause everything to go to shit because Skynet is basically Genesis is a Trojan horse, if you will,
Yeah.
for Skynet. It's
Basically, the world's biggest, the most dangerous virus. Basically, think of it like that.
Yeah, the world's biggest computer virus. And so they decide, let's go to 2017. And even I was a bit confused. Oh, wait, aren't they going too far forward? I thought it was supposed to be 97.
No,
Or
it's because
2004.
it's because because of the we're supposed to accept that because of the time travel bullshit, the timeline has been altered, and now there's no actual we established later that the one who actually comes up with it is not Miles Dyson, it's his son. I guess the little black son he had, the little kids from the second movie, I guess. But basically, the timeline altered, so there's not going to be any more Cyberdyne in the 1990s. Only later, basically. Timeline alter. Yeah. Time
Yeah,
like Sam Call Me
that-
Johnny said in his Sonic 06 review. Time travel is bullshit.
He calls all this stuff to go. All right, so yeah, because there is. I think there actually was an attempt at an explanation as to why they go to 2017
There was.
instead. Because when he was going back, he had visions.
Mm-hmm.
Because Kyle Reese has that ability now.
No. He doesn't have visions per se. Like from the moment that again, we're in the spoiler zone anyway, so I might as well say it. Basically, when Skynet also has an avatar in this one. When Skynet attacks John, that's when he starts having those memories. So from the very moment that Skynet attacks John, it's already altering the past because it's going to make John go into become a machine and eventually go into the past, and that's what's going to alter his timeline, and they're going to meet young Kyle, and that's when he's going to alter. Basically, it's time travel paradox shit, basically.
Yeah. Oh boy. So they go to 2017 minus the T800 for obvious reasons. If you've watched T1, sorry, if you watch T1 and T2.
Mm-hmm.
So they arrive there, and of all the locations they land in, they land right in the middle of a motorway.
Yeah, that too. One thing I like to say though, one thing that I did like was how they expanded upon the explanation of why nothing dead will go in the time machine. I did enjoy that one minor detail. Felt okay. That could perfectly fit with the first two movies. I accept that.
What was that detail again? I forgot.
But basically, what the way it works is if you try to mix something that's even the way they kill John Connor at the end. Basically, if you try to mix something time travel that is not living tissue, or at least not under living tissue, but the T800 is, it basically disrupts the time travel thing and destroys anything not living that's in the
Bubble.
in the bubble.
Okay. All right. So Paul. Okay. The good T800 in this film is called the Guardian.
Yeah, or Pops, shall we say?
Yeah, but in the credits it's called Guardian, but I'm just gonna be Pops is a more imaginative name.
Wait, did the word Guardian ever come across in the actual movie? I just remember them calling them Pops.
Not the movie, but it says Guardian in the credits.
Okay, I didn't. Fine, I guess. But go ahead.
Okay. So they land in the middle of a highway, naked, in San Francisco, and they get caught by the police after causing some accidents. But Arnie's already there, and he follows them to the hospital they're going to be treated for their injuries, which is where they learn about Genisys. Which, as we said earlier, is an app that goes onto phones that's going to be used by every computer worldwide.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, in a moment that made Pedro rage when he saw it in the trailers. Okay. For those of you who haven't seen the trailers, brace yourselves. John Connor appears out of nowhere and rescues both Kyle and Sarah, and tells them about how he got there, all that stuff. But as they get to the garage, Arnie shoots John.
Yep.
And at first, they're panicked. No, you shot John Connor. How could you? You've gone rogue.
Oh no, turns out John Connor is actually now a machine. See, when Skynet caught John back in the future at the beginning of the movie, he didn't kill him, he turned him into a more advanced Terminator. Because apparently you can also turn humans into Terminators. Go figure.
I never got that bit. You could, if they could do that, already, why not do it to everyone?
Yeah, exactly.
Just don't kill them. Just shoot them in the leg, cart them off, and then bam, you've got. Not only have you wiped out humanity, you also gain all their knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Game over.
Like you said, I was pissed off at it in the credits because before I went to see this movie, I wasn't aware that they were going for the alternate timeline thing, so they wouldn't have to retcon anything. Okay, fine. But I still have a problem with it because, as Dwibs just said, that creates a massive inconsistent plot hole / inconsistency. Okay, if Skynet could do this, why did they even bother creating Terminators to begin with? Just turn all your enemies into Terminators. Like,
there's a waste of resources, don't you think?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And again, how does that even work? Like,
Arnie said he got turned into the molecular level, but again,
science.
What did he do? All Matt Smith did. Yeah, Matt Smith is the T-5000 in this film, and he's the one that turned John into the Terminator. All he did was grab him. Yeah,
it's interesting because a lot of people were speculating on what was Matt Smith doing in this movie. He has like 10 seconds of screen time.
And yet, those 10 seconds are actually pretty big 10 seconds. He's not Matt Smith himself, but his character manages to give make the biggest confusing thing in the entire film.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, Matt Smith. I guess your post-Doctor Who career isn't going all that well so far.
Mm.
And also, your American accent sucks, mate. I'm sorry. Just stick to a British one or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so the new T was it 3000? Yeah. John Connor's now a T-3000, and he states that his mission now is not to be humanity's last hope; is to be Skynet's last hope.
Basically, it was turned into a machine and completely reprogrammed. He's no longer John Connor. He's only John Connor in him at this point.
Yeah, he's the bad guy. The John Connor you knew from Terminators 1, 2, 3, and 4 is now a villain. This is like the Terminator equivalent of Maleficent, but in reverse. The big hero is now the big bad guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, so the plot of the evil plot of the T-3000 is now to ensure that the Cyberdyne Systems' new app, Genisys, would receive the technology of Skynet and secure its rise when the countdown hit 0, and that's when it would launch on everyone's phones. But how does hacking people's phones and stuff cause it to go to shit? Don't you still need the... I mean, it can't be... Genisys can't be absolutely everywhere, right? There's got to be at least some people that just refused.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure. They never said people They never said that.
The entire world, like there was one line where they specifically said there was 1 billion pre-orders. 1 billion. That's not really that's not even close to how many people there are in the world.
No. So wow, Cyberdyne really overestimated their resources, didn't they?
Yep.
Okay, so when Genisys activates, Skynet also activates and blows up I don't know how it's supposed to work. Does it blow up stuff? Does it turn it into killing machines? Does it?
Yeah, basically, supposedly it creates the Judgment Day. Basically, it makes things fire missiles from somewhere. Like again, in T2, it made sense because we actually get detailed. Express oh yeah, it sends its missiles because you know the sky, in the original timelines kind of was tied to the military technology, so it sends its missiles to Russia so that Russia will attack America. You know,
but now it's tied to phones and home appliances and
how
stuff.
is being tied to phones gonna help you terminate humankind? That
unless you plan to fry humans to death by electrocuting them with their phones.
It's gonna let me. Oh wait, I got it. It's gonna install sonic runners on all of their phones. There you go. And then
all their Android phones. If you're on iOS, you'll be completely safe. So yeah, that's the moral. If to hide from the Genisys virus, have an iPhone.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Okay. So, now with John Connor evil, it's up to our heroes to stop them.
Oh, wait, you missed something that happened before that. J.K. Simmons.
Oh, yeah, J.K. Simmons.
What are you doing here, J.K.? What? Why are you here? Did you... his character... What was up with J.K. Simmons' character? For a moment there, when he first appears... Oh, wait. He's Dr. Silverman, I'm guessing. But no, he's some
Detective
guy...
O'Brien.
He's some guy who met Kyle Reese 30 years ago. Okay, how was that exactly? Because, again, my first one was, okay, did he somehow met him back in 1984, aka during the events of Terminator 1? Actually, no, the timeline was changed. So the whole Reese being caught and
examined... was that police officer Carl was with when the T-1000 attacked.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, I must have missed that. Okay,
yeah.
fine. Okay, fine.
Mm. So now the police officers rise through the ranks in 33 years, and he's now a detective.
Yeah.
And
nobody believes him, of course.
Yeah, because, well, if everyone believed him, we'd have no story.
Yep.
So he somehow finds out that Kyle and Sarah are time travelers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Kyle I can understand because, you know, he's seen them. But Sarah? I don't think he ever met Sarah, did he? He only saw her through the car when she told Carl to get in, and that was it.
Yeah, pretty much. It makes no sense that she knows who Sarah is. Like, you never actually met Sarah.
No, you only saw her for like 5-10 seconds.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then they drove off. Okay, so after they find out that Connor's a bad guy, they go to hijack a helicopter and decide to go to Cyberdyne's HQ.
Oh.
With a T-3000 in pursuit.
Yeah. In fact, I might as well talk about something that I really hated about John Connor as a villain in this movie. John Connor is by far the lamest villain in the history of this franchise. For someone who's supposed to be, as Dwibs said, T-3000, so supposedly this particular Terminator is supposed to be hyper advanced and shit, and yet it's the easiest Terminator to knock down or get away from.
Get a magnet and then bam.
Like not even just a magnet thing. Like every time he shows up, all they do is shoot him a few times or pick an helicopter and yeah, just get away, and they'll just get away really easily. Every time John Connor is about to try to kill them, and by the way, he does it really slowly. Like
I'm the kind of villain that likes to take my time when I kill.
And somehow they all well, we're in the spoiler area, so it's fine. When there's the final confrontation between him and Arnie actually stands pretty well against John Connor, even though he's supposed to be an obsolete,
older and slower.
Yeah, it makes like this villain is super lame. Never for one moment did I ever feel like. Remember how intimidating T-1000 was in T2? That's because T-1000 actually did serious shit to the T-800. Like he in fact it was pretty surprising. Both he managed to stand toe to toe and generally be a force to be reckoned with in the action scenes. Whereas here, it's incredibly easy to get away from this guy. Like, like by the time they escaped for the third time, I was like, okay, am I supposed to be afraid of this guy?
The TX was more intimidating.
Exactly.
Okay, so they have a helicopter chase throughout San Francisco, and Arnie CGI dive bombs onto the helicopter,
Yeah.
and Arnie managed to survive.
I love how completely nonsensical and impossible Reese's maneuvers with the helicopter were. Like,
If I hope this will work.
and again, incredibly easy for them to, destroy the T1, stop the T1000. Sorry, the T3000 fronts chasing them. Just lower, shoot, and then have the T800 fall on top of him, and there we go.
Yeah, the end.
Like,
Okay, not the end. There's still more film. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the helicopter. So after the T3000 helicopter crash, he manages to escape, and in an act of, well, he's a villain. He can be a dick as much as he wants. The countdown for the launch of Genisys goes from 13 hours to just a mere 15 minutes, because again, if they had all that time, there'd be no tension.
exactly.
So then Carl, Sarah, and Arnie decide to plant bombs at certain points in the structure of the building to basically blow the whole thing up.
Exactly. I'd like to say this. I love how they went, oh, okay, wait. We had 13 hours. Why is it now 15 minutes? Oh, because, according to Arnie, because it's evolving fast and shit. It's learning shit. Well...
How?
In that case...
Shouldn't it just go right to 0?
In that case, why even bother having a countdown? Like...
Just go to 0.
How come Dyson didn't predict this? Well, then again, I guess that's the whole point. They didn't predict it was gonna revolt and shit. Okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah, again, but just go to 0. I mean, just wait till you have not all the power, but sufficient enough power to overtake the world, and then set it off.
Like you yourself said, Dwibs, then we wouldn't have a story.
Ask the writers on that one. I don't know. Next time you see him, if you see him at all. So, but while they're planting bombs and trying to get into the into the reactor and all that stuff, the holograms of the Genisys program is pretty much taunting them all throughout. Mm-hmm. Who eventually takes the form of Matt Smith. But yeah, again, basically, the hologram isn't that much of a threat. Aside from lowering the countdown, it just looks like a big dick to him.
Yep.
Until any of them just shoot the hologram.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. But then the T3000 attacked, and after a huge battle, a very lengthy battle, the T3000 got trapped in the prototype time machine.
Mm-hmm. And using that thing that I said earlier, yeah, basically they took advantage of the fact that it will destroy anything that's not living to basically kill John Connor right there.
Yes, but the T3000, before dying, manages to chuck Arnie into a vat of grey liquid. Mm-hmm. Which isn't that the liquid they use for the T1000?
Exactly. Basically, he falls into the liquid metal, and according to Arnie, this is where they're creating all the Terminators and shit like that. They're fixing them and making them blah blah blah. So supposedly, Arnie falls into the metal liquid, and that somehow that metal liquid turns him into a T1000. Oh, of course. Don't you know?
If he's a T1000, shouldn't he take the shape of not Robert Patrick?
I don't even know it. And not to mention, and going a little ahead of what Dwibs has said, but yeah, Sarah and Sarah and Kyle managed to blow up the entire thing and basically destroy Skynet. However, even though everything blows up, somehow Arnie still survives. Go figure. Like,
even though he's got a human. I mean, if he'd have appeared,
As a
with
skeleton
without the
and a skeleton.
as a skeleton through that, I wouldn't have minded. But no, his human flesh is intact. Shouldn't it have burned off?
I guess my main problem isn't even that, because remember, Dwibs, the T-1000s can actually rebuild their own human skin. The problem there is that I don't think a T-1000 can survive an explosion. I mean, yeah, the Terminator in T-1000 in Terminator 2 was very hard to get rid of, true, but I don't think it's powerful enough to survive an entire explosion, especially one of that magnitude. I'm pretty sure he would not survive that.
That explosion would probably have been heard from probably Los Angeles, never mind San Francisco.
I mean, any like whenever the T-1000 breaks into a million pieces, all the million pieces can put themselves together. I know that, but all the million pieces they would break would also be to survive the explosion. There's no way he could have survived that explosion, but yeah, he does somehow.
Oh, and also, sorry, I missed out something. The T-1000 meets its end by acid.
Yeah. Oh yeah, acid. I forgot about that. Yeah, I never understood that. Wasn't that water?
I thought it was acid.
Was
I mean, it hurt. It hurt Sarah.
When
So I assumed it was acid.
but why is the fire what's it called, fire putting out mechanism thingy full of acid rather than water?
I guess they replaced it for a trap.
I guess. I just wish they could have mentioned it in one runaway line, just so we can, just throw us a Bone Riders. Come on.
I mean, you're making a fan fiction. Explain what your made up stuff's, how your made up stuff works.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, T-3000's destroyed. There's no more John Connor. And Arnie is now somehow a T-1000. Yeah, because apparently mimetic polyalloy liquid can do that. It can upgrade obsolete models to newer ones.
Of course. Obviously, right?
They never said that in the other films.
Nope, they didn't.
Liquid can... Ugh. You know what? Forget it.
Yeah.
So after that, after the...
Oh, you forgot to talk about how they meet the young Kyle Reese.
Yeah. That's at the end. That's yes. But right before they get to the... I think it was after Connor's big reveal.
Yeah, it was.
They run into young Kyle, and Sarah gives them a bit of encouragement of the whole run your finger down someone's middle hand as a sign of as a sign of I was this guy from years ago.
Yeah, basically it was the fact that they were running away from John Connor, that they met young Kyle, and that's when Sarah told him about the straight line on the hand thingy, and then Kyle gave him the message and shit. Genisys is Skynet destroyed and shit. So that's the logic they're going for. The fact that John Connor got attacked right before Kyle Reese got sent is exactly what made him have those memories, because the timeline was changed.
But then if he knew that Connor was going to turn into a bad guy all along...
Actually, that's a pretty good point. If he could access those memories, then he should be able to know right now that John Connor is already a villain.
Yeah, or even better, when you get to that point in the future, just warn him or something.
It's like some Call Me Johnny said in his Sonic 06 review. When you're making a story of this type, you're just asking for trouble, because it's so easy to fuck up.
Just warn him or something. Just say, oh, by the way, don't come with us, otherwise you'll get turned into a Terminator.
Yeah, when James Cameron made the first two movies, he wisely kept the time travel strictly to the very basics. The focus of the plot was more so the characters rather than the time travel aspect. And for good reasons, because the more you mess with time travel, the easier it is to fuck up. But
yeah, John, don't go here. You'll get turned by the Doctor into a Terminator.
Of course.
Somehow. So after that, it's all happy ending. Sarah, they do the whole we're free to make our own choices. The future is not set shit, which then immediately gets rendered pointless by the post-credit scene.
Yeah. Again, I haven't heard about the post-credit scene after Antonio told me earlier, but honestly, thematically. I'm not talking about plot-wise. Let's think about thematically in terms of the theme of the movie. It was pretty much just a complete rehash of the theme of the second movie, aka the future's not set, but there's no fate but the one we make for ourselves. What the hell was even the point of this movie? Just to tell us that the future is not set? We already had T2 for that. What did this add?
But then that got retconned by T3, so
Yeah,
I guess...
So, but yeah, I know, but still, like, what exactly was the point of this movie? What did it add to the franchise exactly? Aside from making the mythology even more convoluted.
And, Jai Courtney.
Yeah, sure.
Because, you know, if there's one thing the series was missing, was a bland action actor.
Of course. Forget Michael Biehn. No.
Jai Courtney is where it's at now, apparently. So, that's pretty much the film. That's pretty much a over 2-hour film summed up in about 20 minutes.
Yeah. Okay,
now let's get on to the cast.
Arnie was awesome. I'll give it that. Arnie was awesome as always. He did a good job with the humor thing, delivering his awesome one-liners. Like they even poked it fun at it with Kyle saying he makes jokes. Yeah, Arnie was awesome, and
honestly, I believe Arnie was the best thing in the film.
Yeah, I agree with that too, definitely.
And actually, I honestly thought he was the best actor. Everyone else was either
else was
either lame or being way too hammy. And you know it's bad when Arnie is a better actor than someone of Game of Thrones and Doctor Who and Spider-Man.
I think J.K. Simmons did fine, especially regarding the material he was given.
Yeah. Okay. And then we had Jason Clarke, a.k.a. the main human character from Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, playing John Connor.
Our villain.
Ugh, I never thought I'd say that. John Connor, the villain.
That goes... Anyway, no. Alternate timeline.
Well, okay,
Must keep focus. Alternate timeline.
And then again, it wasn't as bad as I feared it'd be. I was worried that John Connor would just go evil on his own free will, but no, he was brainwashed.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not as bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it that. Oh, he was in White House Down. The actor.
He was one of the better actors, I guess. He did play his part fine, I guess.
Again, considering the script.
Yeah.
Again, the thing that let him down was, well, John Connor's a villain now.
And the whole thing regarding him being a villain is not interesting at all. He was brainwashed, and that's it. From this point on, he's not a character. He's just there to kill people.
Yeah. And then you have Emilia Clarke, no relation to Jason, as the new Sarah Connor, and I don't really like her in this film.
Mm-hmm. Is Emilia Clarke related to Jason Clarke?
No. No relation. Which is, you know what's funny? Emilia Clarke is a actress on Game of Thrones, and the director of this film, Alan Taylor, is also a director on Game of Thrones.
Mm.
I'm starting to see the logic behind her casting now.
They worked together before, and they wanted to work together again, sure. Anyway, I've never seen Game of Thrones, so I don't know how good she is in that.
Me neither. I'm sure she's fine, but here...
You might be right about the whole miscasting thing, but considering the circumstances, I think it could have gone worse.
Well, yeah, I suppose. I mean, again, I still think it was horribly miscast, but it could be worse. You could have been Jai Courtney cast as Kyle Reese.
Yeah, you could at least. I mean, I'll take her over Jai Courtney, because at least Emilia seemed like she was trying to make something good out of this.
But now we have... So, let's get on to the, in my opinion, the worst piece of casting in the film.
Jai
Courtney as Kyle Reese. Throughout almost the entire film, he's like...
Blandy McBland.
Yeah, he's basically Aaron Taylor Johnson's character from last year's Godzilla film.
Yeah, I remember how human and intense... and very genuine Michael Biehn was in the first two movies.
Hell, even Anton Yelkin from Salvation was better.
And for those that don't know, audience, yes, I mean the first two films because the director's cut actually adds back a scene where Michael Biehn was once appeared in a dream sequence to Sarah. So and he was just as awesome there too. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Throughout most of the film, Jai Courtney's just like, Sarah, I love you. Sarah, get over there. What are you doing? What are you doing, Pops?
Pops.
I can't do a good Jai Courtney impression. I'm sorry. I probably have to be an Australian trying to sound American to do that. But yeah, he's bland as all hell. I'd much rather have just... Couldn't they have just got Anton Yelkin back or something?
Wait, Anton... Oh, the guy from Salvation?
Salvation. Yeah. You know it's bad when I'm actually comparing something from Salvation favourably to Genisys. Probably the only thing I'll do, but still.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we had the T-1000, played this time by Lee Byung-hun, who was fine.
I guess.
Ish. I mean, he's no Robert Patrick, but you know he kind of resembles him a little bit.
A bit, yeah.
Yeah, and then again he's a shapeshifter, so you know he could easily take other forms. And then we had J.K. Simmons, who was wasted in two ways: wasted in character, you know, because he's an alcoholic, and wasted as an actor in general.
Yeah, like his character didn't really have any reason to be there.
He's just there because J.K. Simmons is cool.
Comic relief, I guess, but
yeah. And then you had Matt Smith as the T-5000.
AKA
had the least screen time. Yes, had the least screen time, but had the most impact
on the plot. You mean?
Yeah,
definitely not on the audience.
Again, which is a shame. I like Matt Smith.
No, I like Matt Smith too, but I mean,
again,
only 10 seconds of screen time. You can't really leave an impact in that short amount of time.
That and his American accent was worse than what Tom Felton tried to do in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And in terms of main cast, that's about it. The rest include some detective guy, Miles Dyson, Danny Dyson.
Actually, it was another name. It wasn't Miles Dyson. It was his son.
No, it says
Danny Dyson.
No, there's actually a Miles Dyson in this film.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Played by Courtney B. Vance.
Oh yeah, and I actually remember. Yeah. Both of them were working together, I think. Yeah.
I don't think Miles was in the film that long.
It doesn't really matter anyway. Whatever. Yeah. They're there, and they're the one. And once again, it's the Dyson family that creates Skynet.
Which then got destroyed, but not really. Because, well, we're going to have 2 more films. That's if the film doesn't bomb.
Oh, actually, according to Box Office Mojo, it only made $36 million so far, worldwide.
Well, it's only been out for 2 days.
True.
You know, most stuff, whether it bombs or not, is judged at least a week in.
Yeah.
So yeah, if the film makes money, we're gonna have Terminator Genisys 2: Electric Boogaloo.
Why?
Ugh.
Go ahead.
Music.
Lauren Balfe, aka Hans Zimmer's student. I'm not even kidding. This is not. This is like. I mean, every time Lauren Balfe is involved in doing music, it's always with Hans Zimmer being the producer. It was like that in Beyond Two Souls. It was like that in Inception. It was like that here. But yeah, Lauren Balfe. He's like I said. I actually think Lauren is better than Hans. But this score was... I don't even remember a single cue from this score, honestly. I mean, aside from the Terminator movie, obviously. But that was, of course, Brad Fiedel's awesomeness.
Yeah, Brad Fiedel mixed with Lauren Balfe equals... It's alright.
I guess. The direction. Go ahead. You first.
What do you want me to say? Okay, my biggest problem with For the Dark World wasn't the direction as such; it was more the writing,
Yeah,
and it's the same problem here.
yeah.
I mean,
It's considering the material, it's
it's fine.
fine-ish.
It's better direction than what McGee gave us in Salvation.
Yeah,
Alan
definitely.
Taylor actually had a tripod for this film,
Yeah.
and the action.
And the action scenes. The problem with the direction was the action scenes. The action scenes are. Remember how awesome the truck chase sequence from Terminator 2 was? Remember how awesome um, the final when they're in the truck where they're in the truck and the T-1000 is chasing them on the helicopter and shit. Those was really awesome action sequences. But the action sequences of this movie are so unmemorable. I don't really. I
You just
don't.
got fighting and helicopter chase.
Pretty much.
Again, I think the helicopter chase is the fight I remember most from this film, aside from Arnie Viani,
Yeah.
who got revived thanks to the T-1000 dropping some of its liquid onto it.
Yeah.
Oh, the T-1000 now has healing powers. It's kind of like Fawkes the Phoenix now.
Why not? Might as well.
Yeah. Again, like you said, it felt like a fan fiction, so you might as well throw all the tropes in there.
Ugh. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the direction was fine, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, my main problem with this movie is that, well, the plot makes no sense. Like, this is one of those movies where that was also my main problem with Jurassic World. If you allow yourself to actually think about what's happening, the entire thing falls apart. Like it
Yeah, but at least Jurassic World had like a good cast and it was
yeah,
fun
yeah.
to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And not at not one point through that film. Well, there were a couple of points that were up, but nowhere near to the extent of this film.
Yeah, I'll give it that. I mean, if anything, at least Jurassic World was easy to follow.
Yeah, it was simple. They make a dinosaur, goes wrong, they have to stop it,
Yeah.
or at least get all the people away. Simple, easy to follow.
This
Whereas
movie,
this
there's like a million things going on at the same time.
T-1000 is there. Oh, now he's dead. Um, uh, two armies together fighting for like a few minutes.
Again, I have to ask again, what the fuck was it? Why the fuck were the T-1000s even in this movie? I mean, it makes no sense for them to even exist in the 1984 and the 1970s.
The fan service.
Even though, well, if it was Robert Patrick, I guess, but it's not even that. Like,
No, it's this Asian guy.
which was fine.
He was fine. Like I said earlier, he's no Robert Patrick, but again,
It
what else could he do?
works. Yeah, Robert Patrick is way too old for her.
Yeah. Well, then again, if Arnie if Arnie could age, he even said the human skin ages.
Yeah, but script-wise, there was no actual aging to 1000 in this plot, so it wouldn't work.
I can't wait till I hear what Jova thinks of this film when he goes to see it. Okay. If I had to rank this film among the other ones of the series, I'd put it above Salvation
But
on
that's
account
it.
of it. On account of it not being dull
Boring.
and the director actually being a bit more competent.
Yep.
But honestly, it's
this is
below.
one of the-
It's even below T3 because at least T3
Yeah,
had good action.
I agree.
And,
For as
and
much,
it's bad when you're bested by Jonathan Mostow.
like the thing is, yeah, I was actually thinking that too. Because for as much as I didn't like T3 for what it did to the series, I can at least give that movie one credit. It was at the very least, even though plot-wise it was pretty much again the same shtick. A bad Terminator, the good Terminator. Thematically wise, it was actually attempting to attempting to have somewhat of its own identity. Theme in terms of thematic. nature, not plot-wise. Whereas this, again, this movie had no point. What exactly got accomplished here?
Well, Paramount got the rights to it, so I guess they wanted to do something. Apparently I've heard James Cameron gets the film rights back to the series in 3 years.
Honestly,
I'm not entirely sure how true that is, but hell, even if it is true, would you really want James Cameron nowadays directing a Terminator film?
not really. No,
He'd probably turn it into like
an environmental. Not to mention, James Cameron already said that he's going to make Avatar 2, 3, and 4, and then he's going to stop making movies.
Yeah, I mean, what else? I mean, if he had the rights back, I mean, no more Terminator films unless he sells them or something.
I guess he wants the rights for himself so that he can stop people from ruining this franchise even more.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, but then again, James Cameron takes so long to make films.
Yeah.
But by the time we do get an Avatar 2, he'll probably be like 90 years old or something.
I know, right? Like, it's been 6 years since Avatar 1, and there's still no sign of an Avatar 2, even though it's supposed to be a four movie series.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people have stopped caring by this point.
Yeah.
And also considering the films, from what I can tell, that in many people's minds, the film's getting worse and worse. Again, I haven't seen the film, but
trust me, you've seen it.
Oh yeah, the whole Pocahontas thing.
Yeah, if you've been, like I said a lot of times before, anyone who's been alive at all in the last 20 years has seen Avatar.
Yeah, okay. But our Avatar commentary can wait for another day. So overall, yeah, Genisys. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it was still pretty... Ugh.
I thought it was horrible, honestly. This movie... it's like the people writing this didn't even stop for a moment to actually think about what they were writing. Like, they just wrote whatever without even taking a moment to think about what they were doing.
Let's put the T-1000 in there because fan service.
Let's have Matt Smith be in the movie, even though there's no reason for him because the character only has like 10 seconds of yeah.
Yeah, and again, let's
have Arnie become a T-1000 because that's awesome, I guess. Why? This bottom line, this movie makes no sense. The end.
Yeah. Okay. So that was our Terminator Genisys.
Terminator bad fanfiction.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was our Terminator Genisys thoughts. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time for when we do our thoughts on... Inside Out or something.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I would definitely love to do that.
Yes, because, well, Inside Out isn't out here in the UK yet.
In fact, I should have stopped my brother from dragging me into this. You know what? No, fuck you. We're not watching this. I'm dragging you into Inside Out instead.
Well, again, doesn't your brother hate everything?
No, it's not so... Well, it's not so much... kinda, yeah, but that's a topic for another day. Let's just end this.
Alright, so yeah, Terminator Genisys. It tried to be Star Trek 2009, but...
Yeah, definitely. Basically, right now the tier is Terminator 2 at the very top, then T1, then T3, then Genisys, and then at the very low bottom is Salvation.
Yeah, and... Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you know it's bad when Kurtzman and Orsi are criticised a lot for their writing. You know when they.
I know. I was thinking that too.
But they did Star Trek 09, and how they did the whole going back in time thing was much better than this film.
I know. I mean, people love to criticize Orki and Kurtzman for writing scripts that made no sense. I'm sorry. Compared to this script. To these writers, Orki and Kurtzman are fucking geniuses. I mean, yes, their plots can be some loose ends here and there and be a bit dumb at times, but they at least try to make their stories coherent. And they succeed Somewhat. I mean, again, I still think Star Trek 2009 is a pretty awesome film. And while I did have some problems with Into Darkness, yeah, I still enjoyed it for what it was. Anyway, yeah, but again, we're veering off topic. Let's just end this.
Yeah, we're at the end of the video anyways. See you for our eventual Terminator Genisys commentary when it comes out on home video.
See you, everybody.
See you.